We have a number of important things to take care of. Some of you are beginning to read or hear or see more news about the Zika virus. The Zika virus, remember when the Ebola virus was becoming really worrisome? Well, the Zika virus is beginning to infect more and more people in America, and as you know, especially for those who are women who are pregnant, it can be extremely dangerous. Even if you're not pregnant, it can be dangerous, but certainly if you are bearing child, you could be in serious trouble if you contract the Zika virus. And so the president has asked for resources from Congress to deal with the Zika virus so we can start figuring out how it spreads and how to stop it. Congress left Washington, D.C. without providing the president with the program he wanted to try to get that done. And now we're not going to be around for 7 weeks. So this is now mosquito season, and especially in the south, the southern states. And so it's worrisome that we left town without dealing with the Zika virus. 2, many of you may know that some of us are hoping to have a chance to vote on some gun safety measures so that we don't see these crazy killings that are going around. Not just mass killings, but individually as well. And there's a couple of proposals that some of us keep wanting to have a vote on. There are 2 proposals. To simplify them, one is what we call the no-fly, no-buy legislation. It simply says this: there are some people in America who we think are too dangerous to get on planes, and so we don't permit them to get on a plane in America. Yet those same people can walk into a gun shop and walk out with an assault weapon. Some of us believe if you're too dangerous to fly, you should not be allowed to buy a weapon in a gun shop. The second proposal we have simply says this: if you do walk into a place to buy a weapon, then you should undergo a thorough background check. We should be able to find out if you have a criminal past or if you are mentally unstable to the point of being dangerous to yourself or others. And if you can't pass a check on your background to find out about your criminal activity or your mental stability, then you shouldn't be allowed to purchase a weapon. But if you can pass a background check, then you should. In America, you still have situations where people are buying guns, and we don't know if they're terrorists, if they're criminals, or whether they're mentally deranged. And we think those are 2 very simple measures. If I were to ask you how you felt about those 2 measures, if you're like the rest of America, 9 out of 10 of you would raise your hand and say, I support that. Because 90% of Americans support those 2 measures. But we can't get Congress to give us a vote on those 2 measures. We have a budget to do. We're supposed to end the fiscal year September 30th. We're supposed to have in place the budget for the next year. We have way too much to do still to finish that, and we're only going to have about 3 weeks in September to try to get that done. There's a situation going on in places like Iraq and Syria where you see ISIS is still causing a lot of trouble, and we could talk about that. But there are any number of things more I could tell you. The most important thing Congress has to do is get a budget in place by the end of September, and we have to tackle things that are immediately in front of us. The Zika virus. I could talk to you about the situation with lead contamination in the city of Flint, where 100,000 people are still afraid to drink water from their tap. That's still outstanding. But I'll mention just the budget, the Zika virus, critical, and the need to deal with gun safety measures now so that we don't face more senseless killings of your families and my families.